Black Ops 2, a game that reminds me too much of secondary school, the beginning of try-harding zombies, and when Call of Duty was actually respected. Black Ops 2 holds a really special place in my heart. I mean, it literally birthed MZK. Without Treyarch's masterpiece, I doubt I would even be making this video. The game is widely accepted as one of the best modern Call of Duty titles ever. The campaign was debatable, I didn't really like it, but the multiplayer and the zombies really took Call of Duty Online to the next level. I put an unhealthy amount of hours into Black Ops 2 back on the Xbox 360. I owned the season pass, I made videos on the game, even an old friend of mine once got into a match with Ali A and camped him so hard that he rage quit and sent him this message. I shit you not. However, Black Ops 2 is now a game that is somewhat forgotten. That is outside of the nostalgia memes with the goddamn multiplayer theme tune, which are really fucking good. But one of my favourite games ever made is somehow just over 7 years old. That is about the same age as most Fortnite players. So today, in remembrance of this beautiful game, I want to revisit Black Ops 2 in 2019, play some multiplayer and zombies, and give my 2 cents on if Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is worth a purchase in 2019. Okay, so before we begin, let's just clear up a few specifics. First of all, I'm running Black Ops 2 on the Steam version, not console, and I'm also using European servers. Once we delve into player counts, you may notice a difference compared to the figures I give, and that's expected, you know, shit changes all the time. However, if you're playing Black Ops 2 on the good old Xbox 360 or the PS3, then chances are the game is probably way more popular than Steam, thanks to backwards compatibility and, of course, consoles just being consoles when it comes down to COD. But anyway, with the boring stuff over, please do sit back and relax. Let's get started. Alright, so first and foremost, the player base. When revisiting older games, it is always important to take note of the amount of players currently in-game, especially when it's a mostly multiplayer game. Black Ops 2's multiplayer is definitely playable, but it's not the king it used to be. Steam averages around 500 to 600 players a day, a good 200 of them playing Team Deathmatch. Game modes like Kill Confirmed, Domination, Headquarters, Hardcore don't have any players. There is no players at all, not even one. The most populated playlists are, of course, Team Deathmatch, which will always be populated, and Nukejacked, which is a playlist that switches between the maps of only Nuketown and Hijacked. So instantly we're presented with our first hurdle. No one really plays Black Ops 2 on PC. You can most definitely find a multitude of matches of TDM and Nukejacked, but other game modes simply won't take off. This isn't a problem for those who enjoy this playlist. You know, Team Deathmatch is easily the most common and kind of fan favorite game mode in Call of Duty, but for someone like me that likes a little bit of Domination or Kill Confirmed, which I'm a massive fanboy of, this is quite upsetting. Black Ops 2's player base is pretty consistent. It's just consistently small. Compared to other games though, like Ghosts, it holds up pretty fucking well. Alright, moving on to some possible cheaters. A side effect of playing old multiplayer games in 2019 is that chances are the game is hacked to shit, especially on PC. I remember playing COD World at War on the Xbox 360 only a few years after it came out, probably around like 2010 I would say, and it was absolutely ruined with modders. It completely killed the game for me, but I guess that didn't really stop me from getting max prestige. Anyway, Black Ops 2 had its fair share of cheaters in its prime, and in 2019 it still does have a few regulars. Encountering cheaters isn't as common as you would think though. In fact, I think I see more cheaters in Team Fortress 2 and Battlefield 5 than Black Ops 2. It is definitely not perfect, you know, the odd dodgy lobby will happen, but it doesn't destroy the experience by any means. I can't speak for consoles, but the Steam version of Black Ops 2 is definitely playable. Alright, so how about some DLC maps and the so good Zombies game mode? Well, this is again a tricky one. So DLC multiplayer maps are, from a common sense viewpoint, not active. I only own the first DLC, but considering core domination is empty, I doubt Revolution or any of the other DLC maps are going to be played. Black Ops 2 used the old map pack and season pass system, which at the time was great, but 7 years on, it shows how divided the player base can get, as well as how abandoned certain sections of the game get. I mean, public match zombies, without considering the DLC maps, is extremely quiet. We're talking just a handful of people. I actually went ahead and bought the Revolution DLC just to revisit Die Rise one more time. I played it with 2 mates, and yes, it was fucking worth it, but unless you have a group to play with, I can't see it being too likely that you'll just hop into a random game of Origins. In simple terms, Black Ops 2's core game is relatively abandoned, so the content locked behind a paywall, even in 2019, is going to be way more abandoned. I wouldn't make any purchases of the DLC unless you have people to play with. Do not waste your money. It is a real shame because I would absolutely love for Treyarch to release some sort of 2019 edition of Black Ops 2 where all DLCs are free, or maybe the whole game is free to play, and perhaps there's a couple new maps added, tweaks to weapons, and so on. I think that would bring back Black Ops 2 as a way more popular version of its former self, but you know, knowing COD, I doubt this would ever happen. So to sum it all up, Black Ops 2 is a timeless game. I think we can all agree with that. Without considering the dwindling player base, the game is downright amazing. Fantastic optimization, great settings menu that is very kind to PC, and it is of course just Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is easily one of the most beloved modern day Call of Duty games going. The gameplay back in 2012 when it first came out was incredible, and the gameplay in 2019 still holds up really well. Obviously, coming from something like Modern Warfare back to Black Ops 2, you do start to notice how much it has aged, and it did make me feel slightly older than I should be. The game is one of those titles, a little bit like Team Fortress 2 or something like, I don't know, Half-Life, where it's just so good that the age of it doesn't really matter. However, given the state of zombies and the multiplayer public match game modes, it makes me want to almost not recommend Black Ops 2 in 2019. Rebuying the game for PC is a great idea for nostalgia, and if you already own it on, say, Xbox or PS3, then yeah, of course, play it. That is an absolute no-brainer. But somehow, if you've never played Black Ops 2 and want to experience what all of the excitement was about, don't. Black Ops 2 had its day. It was a fucking incredible game back in its prime, you know, one which I still hold extremely fond memories of. But Black Ops 2 in 2019 just isn't that anymore. There is evidence of what once was, but the overwhelming feeling of age and isolation creates this sad, eerie, and slightly uncomfortable experience if you think about it too much. The nostalgia is about the only reason to make a purchase. If you are a new player, then I probably wouldn't even think about purchasing it, not unless it's on console or you can get it for extremely cheap in the Steam summer sales. However, if you do just want to, you know, revisit the simpler times of secondary school, you know, not worrying about boring adult stuff and just getting home, booting up a bit of Black Ops 2, playing some fucking zombies with your mates, then hell yeah. As long as you have friends, the game will feel like it did 7 years ago, but playing it on your own is probably not the best thing to do. So guys, that is just about all I have to say for this video. I do hope that you enjoyed, and as always, if you did enjoy, then please do feel free to leave a like on the video. If you guys could also subscribe to MZK, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. And as always, I will see you guys on my next video. This is SkintBoot, signing out.